welcome, Echoes, to Once Upon a Reflection, a Cypher system-based fairy tale TTRPG. I am Evie, the Disaster GM. My pronouns are she, they, or any, and I am the game runner for this fine, if disastrous, group. Let's go ahead and introduce the two that we have today. As you might be able to see, Alina, unfortunately, is not able to attend at the moment. Had some family stuff come up, and will be back next time. Let's start out today with the birthday girl. Happy birthday!
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Hello, my name is Amanda, and I will be playing Rosa and Thorn, both using she, her pronouns, the wild princess who masters the swarm.
Yeah. Very cool, very cool. Again, also chat, wish her a happy birthday. We love it when it happens to fall perfectly on that day that we're able to game and see them in person. Kind of in person.
Kind of.
Kind of in person. It counts. Yeah. But yes, and then, of course, Joel.
Hello, I'm Joel. My pronouns are any. It's just whatever. And I'm playing Senior Fluffington, and also Senior Fluffington, who is a rugged witchwawa, who is one with beasts. I'm very excited.
Yeah. Senor Fluffington, who is also Senor Fluffington. Beautiful, wonderful, perfect.
He's like Tony Stark. He is Iron Man.
Yeah, kind of. Except less with the outfit. Yeah, like less with the outfit and more with the, like...
Slightly taller.
Slightly taller and a big stick. Because dogs and sticks. But yes, so... Once Upon a Reflection runs every other week on Fairy Tale Fridays, which is today, from 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific for approximately a couple of hours. As we simulcast, don't forget to follow if you're watching via Twitch, or subscribe and ring the bell for notifications if you are watching on YouTube, so that you can be notified whenever we happen to go live with this or any of our other live streams. You will also know from our overlay that we are raising funds for medical aid for Palestinians. Thank you very much to Twitch chat for having done a 100 euro? Is that what that symbol is? I am a dumb American, so I do not know.
I think that's pounds.
But... Pounds. Okay, so 100 pound donation.
It's some fucking European thing.
Yeah, I'm an idiotic American. Yeah, I'm an idiot American and don't know the difference. Unfortunately, I am ashamed of myself, as we should all be. But thank you to Twitch for having done the max 100 donation, and we are still raising a couple of funds on our Tiltify before we switch over to our new campaign. Medical Aid for Palestinians raises funds to work with trusted and experienced local partners in the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem and Lebanon for the health and dignity of those living under occupation. Go ahead and check out the YouTube description or Twitch chat for more information on them, or scan the QR code that is on the corner of the screen to donate directly. Altered Echo Archives receives no portion of the donations, nor does it any of its affiliates. With all of that out of the way, I do have one last announcement for those of you who are tuning in that liked Empyrean Rising and have been looking forward to our Empyrean Wilds campaign that is coming out soon. We have started releasing Empyrean Rising as an audio-only podcast for those of you who didn't happen to catch the entirety of the series and don't want to slog through that many hours of YouTube episodes. It is being cleaned up and presented to you in a more concise format, with some of the things like unsure moments or questions that were raised outside of chat being pulled out so that it's more concise and easy to listen to, say if you're in the car or just want a little bit of a refresher before we go into Empyrean Wilds. Episode 1 is out now. Episode 2 will be coming probably within the next week. But yes, we are very excited about it. I am very proud of the fact that I actually managed to clean it up, because mono-track audio editing for that many voices is a task. But yes, so go check it out, see what you think about it, and get excited for Empyrean Wilds, which is coming soon. And with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and roll into focusing on today's session. As a content warning, we at the Archives would like to remind you that this is an adult content rated game with depictions of violence, possible mentions of loss or trauma, and or similar content. We do our best not to cross each other's lines, but for those watching, you have been warned. When last we left off, our lovely trio of guardians had finally managed to work their way out of the fairy tale realm and back to the real world, discovering that it had been many days longer than they had really anticipated being gone, resulting in a chihuahua being reported as missing and reward posters being put up, a concerned and somewhat pissed off band that had to miss a gig, and some coworkers from a couple of missed shifts and family being very concerned with the whereabouts of Vet Tech Rosa. With a little bit of finagling, most of that was resolved. Rosa is handling what few repercussions happen to still be lingering about the fact that she was legitimately reported missing to the police. And it's probably been another week of you guys settling back into your lives and your circumstances wherever you happen to be. Rosa, what would you say that you're doing maybe on a Monday around midday, about a week after you got back?
Midday, I am handling the lunch shift before I go on my lunch at my job.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it is a Monday, so it is not as busy as the weekends tend to get. You have been able to settle back in with hopefully minimal invasive questions from your coworkers wanting to know what the fuck happened to you. And at this point, the rumor has pretty much spread of what this official story is, and people have gotten a lot of their curiosity out, though there's probably a couple of side comments here and there on occasion about not getting lost when you go into the back rooms.
That's fair.
Yeah. But it is a fairly easy lunch shift, just the checking in and out of a couple of creatures that are getting taken care of. And it's probably about 20 minutes before you would be going on lunch that a vaguely recognizable woman walks in holding a pet carrier with, I would assume, a very, very yappy dog within.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Senor Fluffington, your humans have been very concerned with you since you came back from having been gone for that long. You have gone missing for like a day-ish maybe before, always leading to concern, which, okay, I'm just like, where did my CC go? There we go. leading to some concern, but you always came back. It was never that long before. And there is concern now of the fact that they had no way to track you down, and you are not shipped. Mm-hmm. So, as I believe her name is Dahlia? Dahlia. As Dahlia has been discussing it with her son, he agreed to spend some of his allowance to pay to help get you chipped. So she's contributing half, he's contributing the other half, and since it is her day off, she is taking you into a vet clinic that she knows does that, unlike the one that's around the corner from her. So you don't know that that is what is happening. You just heard the occasional chat about Chip, and you thought that you were going to get chips to eat, and it didn't work very well. But so as Dahlia comes in, and she only vaguely recognizes you, Rosa. It had been days in fairy tale land, and your hair was probably a little on the wild side when she saw you, that she patiently waits in line and then brings the carrier over ready to check in. And there's just that slight moment of recognition. And if you remember, Dahlia talks as much as Senor Fluffington does when you are in fairy tale land. So you are about to get hit with a wall of chatter.
I feel like as I'm checking in, I don't necessarily recognize, I recognize her, but not really.
You've seen her once.
Sure, if that's if that's her, just someone who kind of vaguely looks like her. So as I'm doing the intake, I ask the name of the patient, and I assume that when she says Senor Fluffington,
she vaguely remembers that you speak Spanish, whether however fluent you may or may not be. So as soon as she recognized who you were, not a word of English.
Yeah. Which, by the way, even before I was brought in the door, Senor Fluffington has been yapping. Yeah. So it's not just Dahlia just saying a bunch of shit. Senor Fluffington is also just very, very vocal about whatever the hell is going on in his little tiny brain.
Yeah, she full on has you in a carrier because of how easily you slipped out, even just after they got you back. So she has got you in the carrier, and you've got a little harness, and you know that as soon as that thing opens, she's going to be reaching in with one of those leashes. So you're probably even bouncing as you bark inside of it. So there's scrambling sounds and the occasional jerk of the pet carrier as he jumps and barks.
And then I just eat absolute shit because I am a chihuahua that is the size of the...
Yeah, with a little pot belly.
Yeah, coordination is not my name.
Yeah. So she, as you're asking that, it's oh, I'm sorry, you probably don't recognize me. We met the other day. You helped bring my dog back. It's just on and on and on. Amidst it, you do get her name, the name of Senor Fluffington, that they've got an appointment, and that he is here to be chipped. And she is in the middle of all of that, as she very rapidly taps her name onto the little smart screen to check him in, and then while still talking at you, turns to the carrier, proceeds to try to open it and dart her hand in with the leash so that she can make sure that he doesn't leap off of the counter. Go ahead and
to escape immediately.
Go ahead and give me a speed task.
17.
So you see her she's half distracted, chattering at you, and a very recognizable Senor Fluffington just right past her as she's trying to clip this very, very thin leash. I mean, you've seen the types of leashes that they put on chihuahuas. Very thin leash on him, and he's just over her arms and starts to launch himself off of the counter.
I am yeeting off of whatever surface to try to get to the ground.
Yeah, she should have opened this on the ground, honestly speaking. Which direction are you yeeting yourself?
In whichever direction there is less quantity of the two people. So like if they're like one here and one here, I'm going that way. If they're perfectly on equal side, then away from the carrier,
Okay.
in whatever direction freedom is.
So, Rosa, that doesn't even give you the opportunity to attempt to catch him. I would like you to make 2 rolls, Senor Fluffington.
Yeah.
One for Dahlia to try and catch you before you eat shit. And one for you to avoid it. Okay. So you are rolling against yourself.
4.
4 for her?
For her, yeah.
Unless you roll like a nat 1, she is not going to manage to catch you and you are going to eat shit.
17.
Wow. So you manage to just be fast enough and squirmy enough to where she almost grabs you and like it just like you can feel the fingers drift past your back as she just barely misses you.
I am very aerodynamic.
I wouldn't call it that. But you do in that process. Mm-hmm. And you have seen Ollie do this. You remember when he launched himself from laying down off of the back porch?
I do.
So you leap to freedom, sailing through the air. It is as majestic as the jumps and the fights that you have managed to take part in the fairy tale world. Sailing majestically through the air, and then you are on the ground, and like you land all along here with a giant yelp, like feet under, like legs just splayed underneath you.
Yeah, there's no survival instincts to this. It's like midair. All you see is just the little paws just outwards. Just fucking belly flops onto the ground.
It is not elegant. It is not coordinated. There was no attempt to catch himself. It's just like face, neck, shoulders, and chest all landed there, and there is this like weird like butt flop over rolling onto his back before he manages to get somewhere to where his feet would manage to like try to be underneath him. Legs were just like straight out underneath him during that initial landing, and there was definitely a yelp as he landed.
No.
Dahlia proceeds to begin panicking and like jumping for him to try and catch him before he finds a way to either run or limp away. And you witnessed all of this. The chatter has gone from chattering at you to chattering at Senor Fluffington as she is admonishing him first for jumping out of the crate and that he knows better than to try to jump off of high surfaces. This is why she puts it on the high surface, so that she can catch him before he runs away.
If there are any big dogs here, if there are any, I'm gonna run at the big dog.
Okay.
I'm picking a fight.
Please also make a might defense for how well you took that fall.
Oh, yeah. I am good at jumping. I don't know if that counts.
I will say that will help, like, the DC of, like...
19!
Throwing it off. Okay, so yeah. Somehow you are...
Why do I roll
fine.
well on the shitty...
You are just a well-insulated dog, is what it is.
It really is. Like
it's the belly. I just bounced.
Yeah, you kind of did, because you landed and then it, like... weird shoulder roll onto your feet, and with that 19 as your minor effect, without having to roll, you managed to dodge her hands grabbing for you again.
Oh man, this is my favorite thing I've ever done in a TTRPG.
And just you see this big, sleepy, pit of some kind,
Oh, hell
just
yeah.
like just a little overweight and kind of breathing a little heavy, sitting calmly, not even noticing that you exist next to its owner, who is reading something on their phone, sitting in the waiting area, waiting to be seen. And you are maybe the size of this dog's head if you gained another 10 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna do the Chihuahua thing of like running up to him, staring him in the eyes, and then just bark as loud as I can, which is not loud at all because I am what I
a
am.
chihuahua, yeah.
But it's like it's the type of bark that Chihuahuas do, where like they like physically have to like lift off the ground with most of their body to be able to get the bark out. So I'm just
I've
like
seen it.
physically bouncing as I am attempting to intimidate this cool dog that would eat me in a bite.
Yeah, so I am taking inspiration from my own pit mix that, like, you do this, and the dog did not notice that you existed until that moment of you running up and doing the like bark. So like it's just barely slowly starting to turn in your direction to try and sniff at you. And then as soon as you do that like bounce high pitched yap, the dog like flinches back in like shock, and then like lifts its paws and like sniffs in your direction a little bit, and you bark again and like jerks a little bit, just very confused at this very small thing that is apparently so tough that it has no problem trying to square up against something that's like 10 times its size. And that's about the time that Dahlia catches up with you, like full on both hands around the rib cage, lifts you up off the ground, holds you like protectively away from the big dog that was a little startled by you and not even being aggressive, and then like shuffles you back over to Rosa, with you witnessing all of this. Rosa,
I'm trying so hard to hold back my laughter.
Because you recognize Senor Fluffington, and you know for a fact at this point that that is the very chatty woman that you handed him over to.
This is the most Fluffington thing I've ever seen. I say that out loud, and I paused for a moment, and I was like, well, because, and then I look at Dahlia, well, it's because he's Chihuahua. You know,
and then she
act like that.
Yeah, and then she responds with, "Yeah, yes. They've told me about all the notes that you have in the system about him. He probably won't try to bite you." She does not sound convinced at all when she says that.
So your Fluffington has the shittiest the shittiest shit eating grin you can imagine on Chihuahua. Like he's so happy. They are so happy that they intimidated that dog, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm the top dog around here."
Hi, puppy. My doggy has come over and is begging for attention.
He came downstairs too.
I saw that. You're being a
weirdo
dog, mister. But yes, so it does take probably the rest of your shift to finish checking Senor Fluffington in, because he does not hold still on the scale. He doesn't do anything that makes it easier on you guys. So you know that you are going on break about the same time that Senor Fluffington would be taken to the back. Can you guys hear my dog drinking?
Now I can. Now
Sorry.
that you said it.
He's guzzling probably an entire gallon worth of water right now because he's got a gravity water in my room. Damn dog. But yeah, so he'll be taken to the back to be like seen for the like overall just wellness check, and then having a chip added before you get back from lunch, essentially. Do you want to try and stay over on your lunch a little bit to check on how that goes, or are you going to just go ahead and take your lunch, pretend like you don't know the dog other than it being a patient?
I think I'm actually going to take my lunch, trying to act as normal as possible after the incident of last week.
Mm-hmm.
But I am kind of like, hey, like you see me kind of always peeking around the corner from the break room, just
Okay.
kind of.
All right.
So your Fluffington is only it's like trying, and I say big on the word try because he's a Chihuahua. He can only try so hard, but he's more manageable when Rosa is handling him. It doesn't try to bite. It keeps yapping because in a way he's still trying to figure out if like maybe Rosa can understand them now
Okay.
because that happened once before, so
Yeah.
maybe it's happening now.
Yeah.
But as soon as any other person shows up that isn't either of his people or Rosa, it's back to Chihuahua chaos.
Yeah. So yeah, you try to hand him off to the other vet techs, and he is known for being a nightmare. Like when Dahlia talks about, oh yeah, they've told me about his notes. It's like the vet techs being gentle about telling them that he is a nightmare to handle because he doesn't hold still. He tries to nip, and even though he doesn't have all of his teeth, he still tries, and he tries to pick a fight with every other animal. It is a nightmare to deal with. So like the other techs and the vet are surprised that he is, I wouldn't say behaving with you, but less aggressive and chaotic in your hands. And then you go to lunch and you hear someone let out like a human yelp because he did manage to get someone's finger as they were trying to position him.
I know, and I kind of like lean out. And I was like, "Hey, I know I'm like labor laws and all this. I'm not supposed to, but if you need me to like come back, just kind of like hold on to the dog. Like I'm here. Just say the word."
Just for like 1 minute, we've just gotta put it in like as a chip is like a very simple subdermal injection. So like it should, for a dog that they are able to get to hold still, it should be very, very quick. It has not been. It's been like 15, 18 minutes of them just trying to wrangle this tiny little tornado of a dog. You have managed to nip like 3 different techs a couple of times because you are just very you're doing very well on your rolls today. So I'm just saying you're having one of those like really athletic days and you are managing to like just make it so difficult on them. And like one of them was like holding one of those tiny little nylon muzzles to try and put on you to make this easier on themselves as Rosa makes that offer. And they're just like, just for like maybe like 2 minutes, and then you can like make it up after your lunch would be over. And they're just like, I think he actually drew blood that time. As they're like holding up the very tiny little muzzle that would honestly probably be just a little too big on you.
Yeah, so I come out and I say, "Hello, Fluffington."
Okay. So I would like both of you to make intellect rolls.
8.
That's a 5.
An 8 and a 5.
I just realized because it's funny.
Yeah.
I have a speed of 9, and I have an inability in etiquette.
Yeah. You
So
have been playing into your character.
This is so perfectly what a Chihuahua with an inability in etiquette would act like.
Oh yeah. All right, so we've got a 5 and an 8.
Yeah.
On your intellectuals. Okay. So you know that this is Senor Fluffington. And Senor Fluffington, you can smell that this is the person that you came out of the reflection with that was supposed to be Thorn. You're not really aware of what their other name would be because you're a dog. So this is Thorn. This is the friend from the other place where you're a big dog instead of just a dog.
I am a big dog here. What do you mean?
Yeah. So like an even bigger dog.
Oh, yeah.
So you know that it's that person. Like you can recognize the scent. As far as you can tell, Rosa Thorn is not understanding a single word you are barking at her. Rosa, you can tell that he is trying really, really hard to tell you something. You have no idea what he's trying to tell you. Because he has been directing his barking at you, and it's not aggressive barking. It is like the dog is trying to talk to you. He's trying to say something. You have no idea what it is.
I just like you just see me go, oh man, I really wish that I could like the animal speaking would come in handy. And I'm saying this under my breath so no one can like hear me say it. But then I'm kind of like I slowly caress like his front paw. And I'm just like, buddy, I wish I knew what you were saying. I can't, unfortunately, but I know you're trying so hard and I'm trying hard. This isn't working. And to the other text, it sounds like I'm trying to calm him down, but really I am genuinely like frustrated that I can't communicate with the Chihuahua.
So, Senor Fluffington, you can understand everything that she is saying. It's not like that weird warbled, you occasionally catch a word that you understand type of speech. You can actually understand her fully as she's saying this to you. Can I get a perception check from both of you? Like observation, perception of your surroundings.
That is an 11.
Okay.
That is a 9.
Okay. So, Rosa, you are just briefly distracted by like this startled like just moment of quiet that Senor Fluffington has just before the vet injects the chip, because both of you, out of the corner of your eye on like one of the many reflective surfaces that is in the back office of a veterinarian's place, your reflections aren't your human world selves. Your reflections are your fairy tale counterparts. And it's not that you're seeing into the other world, you're seeing as if it's like the slightly warped reflection on a polished steel table or counter of some kind. It's like you are looking in your reflection and you are seeing your fairy tale counterparts.
I would pay my entire soul for someone to draw this scenario with the full size Senor Fluffington from Fairy Tale and being pinned down by all the doctors.
Yeah, because it's also like you vaguely know that that's kind of what you look like, maybe, Senor Fluffington, but it is not the reflection that you are used to. So that's also a different dog that you're seeing right in front of you, like in the reflection of the table that you are on. And there's like this, just that moment of silence of recognition, and then something sharp in your shoulders.
I fucking flip out.
Rosa, you, in that same instant, notice the same reflections, like Thorn holding down Senor Fluffington as like the big wolf man, Senor Fluffington. And then normal human reflections from all of your coworkers. And then, like, Senor Fluffington, like, yelps and, like, jerks in your hands and starts doing, like, full-on possessed chihuahua, like, exorcist shit, trying to get the fuck out of everyone's hands. You have been chipped, though, successfully.
I'm specifically attempting to murder, which is, in my case, is bite. the doctor that injected me. I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
I am about to find out, and I will annihilate them.
Yeah.
With the full power of my Chihuahua body.
So before we determine if you're able to attempt to catch the murder Chihuahua, what is your reaction, Rosa, to the fact that you just saw a very different reflection than what you should be seeing in the table?
There's just this moment of like, oh, that's weird. That has never happened before. Not nearly as like where I haven't been actively trying to cross over. And I kind of, you see me, I just kind of go like this to make sure. I'm like, okay, my hair is still like this really, really dark brown. It's not like snow white like it is in the reflection.
Yeah.
I feel like the coworkers were probably thinking that, you know, maybe Fluffington like bit part of my hair or something when I'm starting to check. But
yeah, so like while you're checking your appearance to make sure that you didn't somehow just magically transform while still in the real world, Senor Fluffington, because you are no longer holding him while you are checking your hair, has like spun around and is like in full challenge mode against the 3 other people that were attempting to hold him down originally. You are not sure which one of them injected you because as a Chihuahua, you have no idea what the difference in the outfits mean.
Of course. I'm just going to just full sprint, fly bite at whoever's the closest that isn't Rosa.
Okay.
With the fury of, I don't know, Cerberus.
Okay. So, angry Chihuahua, fury of Cerberus, tiny body. Make an attack roll.
I have a free asset. I'm going to use it.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay.
Oh, that doesn't matter. It's a 2.
It was a 2. Okay, so yeah. These are like normal people. They are very used to dealing with angry, squirmy animals. So it was going to be like a difficulty 4. But a 2 that does not quite even get to a difficulty 3. It is not a 1 though, so it's basically just like they do manage to like very easily like just avoid the bite and manage to like get one very large hand around like your shoulders and like one finger on either side of your neck because small enough to be able to do that, and then like scoop you up from underneath, and they're holding you in that way to where you think you can get at them if you just try really hard enough, but you're not able to turn your head quite well enough to manage it.
I would continue to try.
Yeah. Rosa, you look like Rosa.
And yeah, but after I finally like, okay, I'm still Rosa, and I look up and I just see Fluffington just kind of in the air.
Yeah, like fully on,
and I was just
like,
like, yeah, hold soft, gentle like hamburger. And I just go, oh shoot, sorry, I like it. I was just startled. It's fine. If you want me to, I can take him back to like to recovery. Make sure he's doing okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like they like try to carefully hand Senor Fluffington over to you without getting bit. You have one more chance to attempt to bite someone.
15.
All right. You do successfully nip them for 0 damage.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Yeah, the only way that you deal damage is if you get a special roll because you are a Chihuahua.
There's these teeth I don't think I even got them with teeth, and my teeth are not gonna do anything.
Just a really gummy.
Yeah.
So it's just this like that's why the one person was so surprised that he managed to draw blood on one of them. Because there's not a lot of teeth to do that with. But yeah, so like they are able to kind of hand him over to you for you to take him, and like it's not even like he had to be locally anesthetized for it. It's just a quick shot once they do the check over. They are not going to be able to successfully check his teeth and ears this particular visit. So it's just back to Dahlia now that he has his chip.
I'm yapping.
Yeah. What are you saying in dog speech?
Oh, well, now I'm kind of whining at Rosa about how much they hurt me and how much I hate being in this place, and that she needs to be careful because they'll do the same to her.
Yeah.
And it's just not a safe place for good people to be at.
Yeah.
But also, did you fucking see that? I fucking hurt him. I a little bit more and I would have taken him down, I promise.
Okay, so
it's just more of that.
So you don't understand words, but you do get the general gist from Senor Fluffington that, like, he's trying to warn you about this being the scary place. This is the scary place with the bad people. And he's trying to warn you, and he's very proud of himself for something. You don't know exactly what he is saying, though, or why he is proud.
I feel like as I'm carrying him back, I find like a shiny reflection just to see if I can, just to see if there's like, if the reflection is us or if it's like the other us.
It's the other us.
What does that look like with me carrying Fluffington?
Yeah, what does that
It's very weird. Like, it's kind of like you're holding him up. And so, like, you do see, like, the paws and, like, you see the knees as if Rosa, or as if Thorn was strong enough to just, like, lift up the person, the, like, biped Senor Fluffington by the waist and ribs.
What are you doing?
So it just kind of looks like your hands are on either side, and he's still in full form like this. So it's as if you are strong enough to hold him up like that, defying physics somehow. And yeah, it's Thorn and biped Senor Fluffington. Did he come down to visit?
Yeah, he's just laying there.
Yeah.
And I turn back to Fluffington in my arms and I say, "Is that what you're trying to tell me about?"
There's just more yapping.
I'm going to assume that's a yes, because unfortunately I can't understand you, and it bothers me that I can't understand you.
Out of character, it isn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what that you're referring to is.
Mm-hmm.
All they are thinking is that you're like,
Mm-hmm.
like you're actually
A
understanding.
lot of miscommunication is happening.
Yeah.
Like a sitcom.
Once again, you do get the general gist that no, that's not what he's trying to tell you about.
Mm-hmm.
But because of him just kind of assuming that you're able to understand him and like probably talking at you about the fact that you can understand him, you don't know what he's trying to say now. Just, you know that he is not agreeing with you.
Okay, maybe not. Well, you did a good job today. Even, hey, next time you come, like if I happen to see your name in the records, like listen, I know we don't have your magic stick here, but like, what if I get you just a really good stick, and I can just give it to you? How about that?
There is a sense of pride from the fact that you are encouraging his behavior, followed by an incredible vibration of joy at the mention of being rewarded for his behavior with a really good stick.
With a really good stick, buddy.
He's getting the worst
all the
lessons out of this. Yeah.
And Ollie is also very excited and vibrating with excitement and wagging his tail.
I don't know why. I don't know what's going on.
He is very excited tonight. Hello to Spirit Trickster. But yeah, so seriously, dog. But yeah, so you have like told him that you will get him a very good stick. But eventually bringing Senior Fluffington back out to Dahlia, she like goes ahead and pays with the techs that are actually working at the front desk. And do you cooperate with Rosa and Dahlia attempting to get you back into your carrier?
Yes, because it is. I am. This is me. There. If I cooperate, I leave faster.
Okay. Okay. You
Yeah.
have you have learned that at least. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, like it is, and there's the occasional look of surprise from your coworkers that you are able to manage the Nightmare Chihuahua so well before you like are eventually bid goodbye by Dahlia and Senor Fluffington continuing to bark at you from the carrier and able to go back to your lunch. And they let you like take an extra 30 minutes to make sure that you're like getting your full lunch hour. Um, but yeah, so the rest of the day seems pretty much inconsequential. Inconsequential. When you catch your reflection, sometimes it's Rosa, sometimes it's Thorn. It's not always Rosa, and it is not always Thorn. So the effect seems to have lessened since Senor Fluffington was gone.
That's weird. And I kind of make a note in the back of my head to like kind of monitor the reflections as I go about the day to see, yeah, to see if it happens with any other critter or person that happens to walk by, because I've never noticed it, but it could just be that I've never noticed.
Roll a d20 for me.
19.
19. You do notice it with one other creature while you are there. Someone has brought in their like absolutely ancient green iguana. It is maybe 6.5, 7 feet long. And like it is just because this is the week that the herp vet is like visiting your particular clinic that it's even there. But you go in to change its water and like you notice that your reflection is like more solidly Thorn than it was when you were like wandering around doing your other work.
And what does the iguana look like in the reflection?
An iguana.
That's weird. That's even weirder.
Yeah, I also thought that the iguana had a double life.
No.
I was like, is it a dragon? Is it an Argonian? Like...
I thought it was a horse.
That's interesting. What is for future reference? What's the iguana's name?
The iguana's name is let's see. Let's give it a good name. Arugula.
That's it. That is a very good iguana name, and I make sure to feed it extra arugula.
Yeah. It is a very lazy iguana. It is male, so it is not nearly as aggressive as it could be. And it is set to be picked up that afternoon around closing.
So what I want to do is that if I have a moment, I want to go check the records and see who owns arugula.
Okay. Are you attempting to do this discreetly, or are you just kind of, when you're not in the middle of something, just sitting at a computer and messing around with it?
Kind of at the computer when I'm not like busy like checking in people, but because but it is private record, so I really shouldn't be snooping. But if I have downtime, I kind of do one of these things and open the file.
Give me a stealth check.
Exciting.
was only an 8.
An 8. You are not sure if the other person that is working at the front notices or not. But you do very easily find Arugula's file, and it is owned by an individual, or he is owned by an individual called Mac, or that is the name that they prefer to go by. Mackenzie Johnson is their full name.
I just kind of take a note of that in my mind, and definitely want to be here when Matt comes to pick up Arugula. I might definitely try to make myself available for when that happens.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, so while you are working the rest of your shift and find weird stuff going on with an iguana, Senor Fluffington, you have been brought back home. Your shoulder's a little sore because you just got something like stuck in you, and you are let out of your crate, and Delia is just wandering around the house doing like house chores because, you know, it's a day off, so able to actually get stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
Just zooming around.
I'm gonna do some zoomies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna drink half my weight in water.
Mm-hmm.
If there's food out, I'm gonna eat about 95% of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna try to break out
Of the house?
of the house. Yes.
Via door, window, or reflection.
Is there currently any windows accessible?
You would be able to get to a window probably in either of the bedrooms, because the mom likes sitting in a chair and reading by sunlight when she doesn't have something else to do, and the boy has a tendency to let things pile up like most teenagers do, so there's stuff to climb.
Okay. I'll go out the window of the kids' bedroom.
Okay.
Or try to anyway.
So it was requested in chat to have you roll for zoomies. So first roll for zoomies. We'll see how coordinated you are. So you do manage to go skidding multiple times into a variety of objects. First a wall. Yeah, first a wall, and then Dahlia's ankle, and she like nearly trips over you when that happened. You somehow get partially stuck underneath the couch in one of the skidding like attempts to take a corner, and you like your butt gets kind of caught underneath there, and there's like a bunch of scrambling before you're able to extricate yourself. And then like you finish the zoomie like clipping a corner and like spinning a little bit, and then down the hallway towards the boys' room, going, okay, it's time to escape mentally.
All right, time to leave.
So now roll for luck on whether or not he left it cracked.
3.
He did not leave it cracked, but you cannot tell.
I'm gonna try anyway.
Okay.
I don't even know if I can even see that there's a window there, so I'm gonna try.
Go ahead and give me a climbing check.
I am trained in climbing.
You are trained in climbing, but it is also a precarious balance of teenage boy mess.
Parkour.
Yeah, like an old backpack, some books, a bunch of clothing. So like apparently you said you got a nat 20.
Oh no, I was given a nat 20.
You were given a nat 20. Okay, are you using that to parkour up to a closed window?
I'm going to use it right now.
Up to a closed window. Okay.
Yep.
All right, so you manage to like scramble. Things start to slide. It
Mm-hmm.
uncovers some magazines that had been tucked underneath the dirty clothes, and by it sliding, you manage to leap off of it and like bounce off of the very old and rickety like short like 3 foot tall bookcase, and then like your claws and feet manage to hang off of the windowsill, and you catch yourself there, and you're able to scramble up to where you're standing on the windowsill next to a closed window.
I will attempt to open it.
Okay, you have a advantage on that from the fact that you had a nat 20, and there's not a lot of special like major effects that you can have climbing up
As
to a
Chihuahua.
window off
Yeah,
of laundry. um,
true.
but so that takes it down from a difficulty 7 to a difficulty 6.
Oh, so I just have to roll 18 or
You're a
higher.
chihuahua and it's a window, you don't even have opposable thumbs.
Okay, but how do you feel about a 3?
So you start scratching at the window, and you're scratching at the window, and it does not open. You
I'm
can
gonna
see
keep
your
doing an
reflection in
intel
it,
call.
though.
Hold on. I'm gonna try to go through my reflection.
Okay, give me an intellectual, please.
Natural 20.
Okay, so like you're scratching at it, and you see like cyan out of the corner of your eye, and it's the like uh, neck sash that you wear in your other form, and you're just like, wait, I don't even need it open. And then you just like dart through the window as like the door starts to like creak open, because Dahlia heard you scratching at something and knew that you were doing something you weren't supposed to, and you're just gone before she even gets the door open to see where you are. In the meantime,
I feel so bad for this woman, by the way.
she keeps losing her son's dog.
The family loves that dog so much, and all he wants to do is be free. Like, that's not fair of them.
Jeez. Anyway, amazing. Um, so, in the meantime, we'll determine where you end up in a second. It is towards the end of my dog is drinking so much water. It is towards the end of the day, end of your shift. The like, and you stayed over by a little bit to be able to catch this person coming in to pick up their iguana, and like they don't bring in a carrier. This is a big ass lizard. They bring in a full on like very sturdy leather harness and like chain leash.
That is so badass.
Yeah, so when Mac walks in, indeterminate gender, they are like the epitome of like that non-binary. It really could be either. There is no way to tell. They are just that level of androgynous. Shock of blue hair, like bright blue, like sky blue level of blue. Like here, and then on the sides, it's like a deep, like amethyst purple. Not like cut strangely, it's just like this big fluff that's just sky blue and then purple. And like piercings all over, and they like wander in. Maybe happen to be somewhere around 2021ish. They look kind of young, maybe college age. Hard to tell. Wearing kind of baggyish clothes, with like plaid shirt, sleeves have been torn off. and like you are just able to see as they're like checking out, checking on how he did. Oh, he was a sweetheart like he always is, blah blah blah. Just nods along really casually to it, and then like wrangles the big lizard into a harness. Are you gonna do anything while they're there?
Oh, are there any reflective surfaces in the lobby?
Not a lot, no. You'd have to be pretty close to them or see them like passing by a window. There's not really mirrors or anything out there, and most of like the reflective surfaces are in the exam rooms or in the back.
I definitely want to get closer, so I'll just like walk up like behind the desk and just kind of act like I'm doing some busy work. Like maybe I'm just like organizing or
Okay.
picking up a file or something.
Give me a luck roll. Let's see if there's anything even vaguely reflective for you to try and see.
That was only an 8.
No, like the metal scale that you guys use to weigh like the dogs and cats when they come in is probably in need of a decent amount of clean and polish, and has been scratched up by multiple animals, like just skittering all around, all on top of it. So it's not really a good enough surface for a reflection.
Yeah. I do one more, and I just kind of like the looking at how they look. I know the only other person I know in real life that looks like this is Vrak or Seb. So I just say, hey, don't happen to know anyone named Seb, do you? Sorry, it's kind of a weird question. I don't know, like we're like mutual friends or.
Oh, no? Sorry. Do I know you? As they're like hefting up this big iguana like a football underneath one arm, its tail like dangling to the back.
I play it off like, oh, I'm sorry. Like you kind of look like someone that may have been a mutual friend of mine. So
Okay.
sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah. Arugula was a very good lizard.
Oh yeah, he always does, and like reaches up and like pets the little frill down a little bit, and the type of look from the lizard, who is very used to being handled. And then, yeah, has finished paying already, so turns around and walks out, long lizard tail dangling behind them as they go.
I'm definitely gonna keep their information in the back of my head. I'm not gonna pursue it because that's like weird.
Okay.
But
you love a self-aware queen.
yeah, no, I'm like I said, I'm already under enough scrutiny as it is. Like, but that does tip me off. It was like, what if there's like other, if Fluffington and Arugula are both, I'm seeing reflections, and maybe there's more, and I want to start kind of keeping like in my head. I was like, okay, so who are the animals that are coming in that I'm seeing my reflection, and if I want to start like you can see like the
Okay.
there's something going on there. I don't have like I'm actually like I don't know which one. I think I have problem solving. Have an inability in. So there's like
okay.
I'm
so,
like
yeah.
doing that
I
thing
was
where
gonna
I'm
have
like
you.
the Pepe Sylvia, like grasping at like red strings and just trying to like throw them together to see if anything sticks.
Yeah, I was gonna have you like make a roll to attempt it, but if you've got an inability in it,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
that's gonna
so
make it
that's
hard.
just it's more like I'm doing the Pepe Sylvia's like where I have like the red strings that are going and maybe it means nothing, but maybe it means something.
Okay, okay,
So I'm just gonna be a little paranoid about it. I'm just gonna be
okay, okay, cool. So, you probably have about 2 days off, because it's a Monday, and like the Thursday through Sunday are generally the busy days. So it's the end of your shift. The office is starting to close up, except for like the emergency services portion, like for when there's like an actual animal emergency as a clinic. You're about to head home. Are you doing anything? Are you going to try and drop by Senor Fluffington's location that you vaguely remember where that is to like see what's going on, because you also saw Senor Fluffington's weird reflection? Are you just going straight home? Are you going to a bar to drink off the memory? What's going on?
I'm going to do a courtesy call to Dahlia's house to make sure that she got maybe the app set up correctly.
Okay. So you're just gonna like drop by her house to and like pretend that it's part of the services?
Yeah, to say that like, hey, like it was so chaotic that we never actually walked through. Like I was in the neighborhood, I thought.
Okay. So as you drop by, and it's probably like 6 or 7 p.m. at this point,
mm-hmm.
and you knock on the door. A boy of about 17.
Yes.
Very gangly. Like, opens the door, and like it looks like he is like super stressed out and freaked as he goes, hi, can I help you?
Hi, is this the residence of Senor Fluffington?
Did you find him already?
Oh, he went missing again.
Yeah.
Oh no. I knew he
Mom. Hey, Mama. Mama. Like Dahlia comes like trudging forward, and like she sees you and starts just like she looks like she has nearly been tearing her hair out, and like the boy looks at her. He looks pissed as she like recognizes you, and then like just ushers him to go back, seeing that Senor Fluffington is not in your hands. And like asks basically what she can do for you. Was there a problem of some kind?
Well, I bring up the fact that we never walked through how to set up the tracking. Because maybe it was like the one where you download the app and you can find out. So
yeah, no, like it is basically just one of those. It's a chip that like a vet or like a pound, like an animal shelter would be able to scan for a chip, and like it's supposed to, you register your address and contact information to the chip number, so that like they can contact you if your dog is found.
Yeah.
So she goes, oh no, please, thank you. Come in. I don't even know the door. The window wasn't even open. She's just like mumbling to herself. The window wasn't even open. And then like ushers you in, offers to get you a drink, and sits you down. And then like Pedro is just like off to the side with his like arms folded, like watching both of you, looking very, very stressed and very angry as he's just kind of leaning against the wall, like hunched.
Well, I was just checking in because I know Fluffington had a really stressful day with the chip, and it's just making sure everything was okay since it was so chaotic with him leaving and I was in the neighborhood, and I'm starting to speak like a little too much.
Yeah. Give me a deception roll.
It was a 3.
Okay.
Good at that.
Dahlia has enough of a language barrier and is stressed out enough to where she doesn't notice. The boy that's leaning against the wall is looking at you very suspiciously. And is watching you just very silently, eyes narrowed, has not introduced himself at all, and is just glaring as you begin to ramble.
And so I'm continuing my rambling, and I kind of like I look over at the boy and see the look on his face, and I just kind of slow down and just kind of eventually just go quiet.
Yeah. Um, as she's like getting you a drink, whether you accept it or not, and also probably a snack of some kind,
Mm-hmm.
he like kicks out at the wall a little bit because moody 17-year-old whose mom just lost his dog again and like comes over and like throws himself back onto the couch next to you and takes out his phone and then like in very rapid fire Spanish at his mother says, I'll handle it, mom. I'll handle it. She's no, she doesn't speak Spanish. I'll handle it. I'll handle it. And Dahlia is still like very rapid fire Spanish at you. Too fast for you to catch most of it since you're not.
I was
fully
about to say I
fluent.
can't listen that fast, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. And he just kind of sighs and then looks at you. And like as he takes out his phone, please make a perception check.
Oh no, that's a 14.
Okay. So you're a little distracted by what you see in the reflection on the locked phone screen
Mm-hmm.
because it's still black as he takes it out of his pocket. And he says to you, did you come here because you stole my dog? And then like turns it on. And just before it turns on, you see his reflection as normal in the black screen of the phone and Thorn sitting next to him. And then it's on. It's a picture of Vrac and some people on the lock screen.
Yes.
He quickly swipes his thumbs over it and it's gone, and then it's just him and his mom posing with the dog as his actual like regular home screen background. And he like starts typing in to the browser, going, what's the site? Did you take him?
No, why would I return a dog, steal a dog, and then come back to return him? That seems like a lot of work.
Why would you lie about coming here to help us set up something that's like on the papers?
I'm having this moment of like, oh man, I fucking hate teenagers. It's just kind of bite my lip and it's like, because I really care about that dog.
So do I. I don't know, maybe. And he looks over at his mom, who like gives him a sharp look as she sets down 2 glasses of water and like just this plate of like crackers and like Kraft cheese singles that have been cut into little squares to make it look kind of like a charcuterie board.
That is adorable.
And so accurate.
And then she like bustles off to be like, I'm just, and she like says over her shoulder to him, I'm going to check the backyard again. Maybe he just got into the backyard. Maybe he came back. And he like looks at you petulantly, like browser open. This like, can we like track him on it or something?
Yeah, I mean, you should be able to go, and I tell him the website. And I was like, well, obviously you have the papers to look up the code, so you know.
Yeah.
Does he escape often?
Yeah, he does. That's why we decided to get him a chip. I mean, my dad got him for me. I don't want to lose him. He doesn't usually stay gone for very long. I mean, he's a street dog. He's probably got like some street cred or something with, I don't know, other strays in the area, and like is rubbing his like thighs as he's talking about it. Like it's I don't know, maybe he's got like some friends out there or something. He'll come back.
Oh yeah, he definitely has friends. I just kind of say without really thinking about the implication of what I just said.
Yeah. So who are you really?
Well, my name's Rosa, and I work at the clinic. I was the one who found your dog last week, and
Like, really?
Yeah.
And he looks you up and down and sees that you're actually in scrubs, and he's just like, oh. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I recognized you as your mother, right?
Yeah.
Your guardian came in and with the dog, and I recognized them. So, I feel like there was a little bit of a connection there.
Yeah, she said he didn't try to bite you.
Yeah, no, he's a good dog.
I can almost hear him now.
Jeez, Ollie. Hi, buddy. Yes, I can see you.
Amanda, you have a nat 20.
You have a nat 20. Thank you, Amalia.
Thank you.
As a birthday present.
Woo, thank
Also,
you.
just so Evie, just so you can make informed decisions. I'm attempting, while this is all happening, my only goal is to find Rose. Rosa.
In the other world?
I'm trying to find a reflection back to her.
Oh my god. Okay, so we'll get to that in a second.
I figured, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's just like, okay. So you think he'll come back?
I think so. I think Ollie thinks so too.
I think that's him falling out the window right now.
Jeez, it might be. But yeah, so we'll come back to that in a couple of minutes, I guess. Ollie is telling me that it is time for break, and we will return. We will return to find out how your conversation with Pedro goes and where Senor Fluffington ended up. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Bye. we are back. Hello, welcome. I am Evie the GM here with my beautiful, wonderful players, Amanda and Joelle, playing, currently at least, Rosa and Senor Fluffington. Senor Fluffington, we're going to drop back in with you because it's been several hours between when you disappeared and when Rosa showed up at the little townhouse that your family lives out of. So you saw your reflection, and without even checking where that reflection led to, you were just like, I can get out that way, yes. And proceeded to jump into fairy tale land, into an unknown location, without any concern of the fact that you could have been caught because you rolled so high. And also because you managed to roll high, you are luckily not dropping into a particularly dangerous area for you to start out with. But you had indicated to me that Senor Fluffington's goal was to get back to Rosa.
Yes.
Okay, so what you end up passing through is actually, surprisingly, another window. You manage to fall out of the window of a small cottage in the middle of the woods that has some fairly warped, cheap glass that they use for the windows that they normally keep shuttered in bad weather. And thud into the flower bed that was just below it. As you land, you have no idea where you
are. I get to my feet and I go, finally, freedom. And then I start looking around for another reflection.
You're in the woods.
I go out the door and knock.
Okay. Currently there is no one home. It is the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Whoever happens to live here is probably out doing things. There are a couple of other windows that you might be able to catch a reflection in, but you know from experience that usually the reflections that are nearby each other are also nearby where they happen to let out. Because over the year or two between when you initially came through and not year or two, the couple of years that it's been that you've traveled back and forth on your own before meeting Rosa or meeting Thorn and Vrak, if you jumped back through a reflection too quickly, you ended up somewhere in that same neighborhood, generally speaking.
So, quick question. I have hedge magic, right? I can temporarily change the color or basic appearance of a small object. Does that mean that I could theoretically make my own reflection, like make something be super polished to the point that it's reflective?
If it is something that would be normally reflective on its own, were it to be manually polished, yes. But the illusion of something that is reflective will not actually provide a reflection, because you would be maintaining the illusion of the reflection with it instead of it being an actual reflection.
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
So you could do it like prestidigitation to polish something that would be shiny, but not like I am creating an illusion of a mirror, because in that illusion you would have to create the secondary illusion of it reflecting something.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna go to all of the windows, and I'm gonna magic polish them.
Okay.
And just see what lies beyond. And if I see Rosa, I am jumping it immediately.
Okay. So there's maybe only 3 other windows beyond the one that you fell through. Polishing one, you see a very, very busy street that you are moving along at very high speed.
Okay, not that one.
Yeah, it is the window of a car as it is driving.
It would be funny
It
though.
would be very dangerous. And then the next one, you see a dirty, dank alley in the middle of some sort of city. You are familiar with dirty, dank alleys from your personal history and the fact that you have ended up in them a couple of times. You have no idea what the reflection is being made in, but it's slightly warped, so it's something curved. No sign of Rosa. The third
Okay, not
one,
yet.
yeah. The third one is just a sky. It's something that's on the ground, so you're not sure what's around it.
Would Rosa be in the sky? Would Thorn be in the sky? Actually, I don't know the real name.
Yeah, you don't know Rosa's name.
Hmm. Well, no, I don't think Thorn would go to the sky. Would
As
you
far
even go to the sky?
as far as you can tell, Thorn can't fly like those irritating little feathered things that occasionally try to dive
Oh
bomb you
yeah,
in the street.
yeah. Hmm. Hmm. I will then just look around, pick a direction, and just go that way,
Okay.
and look for something reflect. Like literally, just wherever, wherever.
Okay. Um,
You know, you don't. It doesn't matter where you're going. It doesn't matter what path you take if you don't know where you're going. Type of
very much so.
Chihuahua logic.
Yeah. So you probably wander for about an hour before you find anything legitimately reflective because
Mhm.
you're in the woods.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of reflective stuff there, at least not anything big enough for you to be able to utilize. Like there might be
Yeah.
dewdrops on something that would theoretically have a reflection, but they are far too small for you to make use of them. At which point you do eventually finally find what seems to be some sort of path wandering through the woods, upon which is a man in a cart being drawn by a couple of horses, and there's the clank of something metal covered in fabric in the back of his cart. Metal things are reflective. You know that.
That sounds like reflections. Ignoring the man, I'm gonna climb on top and just start looking for by the way, the polishing is like not something that that they're actively doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just an unconscious thing of like, well, I want to see the reflection, and therefore the magic is reacting to
Yeah.
their will
Oh, yeah.
essentially. So they're like, no, it just picks up another thing. Just
So
goes through all of it.
as you come out of the woods, originally the man does not seem to notice you because he passes by, and then like your ear twitches and turns because you hear the clank of metal in the cart, and then you turn and you go after it, and then you climb up, and it's the like bounce of the cart as you climb onto it that catches his attention, and he turns, and there's this moment of, wait, what are you doing? And Wolfman that starts rifling through his shit. So please give me a social interaction roll for him to not immediately leap off of the cart and go running into the woods.
I don't know if this helps, but I have an inability in persuasion, etiquette, and deception.
It does not help. In fact, it hinders.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Hi, baby dog.
Oh, 5.
A 5.
Oh no.
Yes.
So like it's this like Wolfman Chihuahua person, but Wolfman that comes storming out of the woods, climbs onto his cart, looming over his goods that seem to be a collection of items that he intends to either trade or pawn. rips off the like tarp that had been covering it and starts like going, no, not this one, not this one, not this one, and like just tossing stuff behind him. And there's like just this giant staff behind the wolfman, just like wobbling and just barely dodging as you throw things behind you, just like barely out of your sight each time. And then just like, what are you doing? Oh, but okay, and then jumps off and runs away. The horse, no longer being urged forward, just kind of slows to a stop and then begins grazing on some of the grasses and weeds that have grown onto the path.
All right. I rolled a chaos dice and I rolled a 1, which means no chaos. I was gonna, if it was higher, I would have started running with the guy because he's running from something scary. So I probably should also run from something scary, but that didn't happen. So instead, I'll just continue looking for Rosa.
Okay. So you don't find a reflection that has Rosa in it. You find reflections of locations for the most part. It is very rare that you see a person in the reflection because of how the magic works, for where it creates the portals. Dog, stop licking your bed. You're so gross. Stop.
No.
Stop.
But what if I just did anyway?
Yeah. I'm not gonna listen to you. I'm gonna do whatever I want.
Exactly. He's very cute, but it makes his bed smell very bad. And he now starts digging on it. But anyway, so like you're finding reflections to locations that look vaguely familiar. Rosa is in none of them. You do eventually find a reflection that leads into a veterinary office, which is the last place that you saw her.
I'm going.
You're going? All right, so you dive through and there's the clank of your staff hitting against it just before it disappears with you through the reflection. And like you find yourself in a at least currently empty exam room of what you assume to be a veterinary office.
It's the evil place.
It is the evil place. You are once again a tiny chihuahua that came spilling out of the reflective metal of one of the wall crates that they keep the kennels, that they keep the dogs and cats and stuff in, against the wall.
Yeah. I am immediately looking for another is the door open?
The door is open. Please make a perception check, though.
Ah, man, I'm so good at this. 8.
Okay.
8.
Yeah, so like it smells like disinfectant. And the door
I'm gonna
is
start
open, yapping. Okay.
I'm gonna head out the door and down and up the path and just yap away, calling for Thorn.
As you do so, like there's like the occasional sound of someone talking as they hear a dog in the office. And then like a vet tech like comes out of a room and sees you loose and goes chasing after you, calling for help in a language that you don't understand.
I understand about 50% of 2 different languages, which means that this is in Spanish or English.
It is not.
I'm gonna like look at them, thinking it's Thorn, just kind of yapping in excitement. As soon as it's not, I'm gonna start whining in terror and just try to fucking book it into another reflection that I may or may not find.
Okay, so as you do, and they like are shouting after you in a language that you don't understand, like no words, none. And like you have no idea what the fuck is going on. You spin into another room. Merde, catch it! As they like go chasing after you, go ahead and make a portal check for the nearest reflective surface because they've got a lot of reflective surfaces in there. Natural 20. Okay. So yeah, like you go spinning into the room as they like skid past a little bit to try and catch you, duck behind a very reflective metal trash bin, and then like just dive through the reflection into the other world while you are just out of sight of them, and you can just faintly hear behind you and like a language again that you don't understand, that seems to be surprise. For the audience it was French, asking where the fuck it went. Yeah, you were in France.
Oui.
Yeah, you were in France. And you
I knew it was the place.
stumble through into a very, very busy market, like underneath a table, and you're like rolling out from under the table that was covered by a cloth. There was a small reflective cup underneath there that had been set down, and like it sloshes over, spilling some sort of drink as you like roll out of it in this strange, twisting, like almost sickening, like roller coaster, that's the word I'm looking for, roller coaster ride of having to like exit through a reflection that was too small for you. But you are in the middle of a very busy marketplace now.
Oh.
As like Big Senor Fluffington.
I don't like this place.
No one seems to be paying attention to you.
Okay. I'm gonna start looking for reflections again. This is gonna be his life for however long until he finds Rosa.
It's fairly easy to find reflections in a marketplace. There's a variety of things that reflect there. There are mirrors, there are shiny things, there are spoons, there are windows, there's like any number of things that can be found that are reflective. And it takes you a little while before you see into a very familiar room. A very familiar room. Your boy Pedro is standing up to walk away to talk to someone, and then sitting on your couch is Rosa, is Thorn.
Oh. Yes! And I just jump in.
So, Rosa, like, after having helped Pedro, like, walk through, like, getting their information into the microchip system, and him having, like, rambled a little bit at you about how Senor Fluffington had actually been a gift from his father, and it's, like, the last thing that his father gave him before his father disappeared, and it's his only way to, like, really remember the man, and, like, he always felt like I don't know, the dad was watching him through Senor Fluffington, and always feels kind of like his dad leaves him again when Senor Fluffington disappears. And then he goes and like he's trying to be tough, and then he like stands up and he's gonna go check on his mom to see if she's like found any trace of him like getting into the backyard or something. And like as he turns into the kitchen, you see like you've never been on the other side as someone was coming through. So this is a first experience for you, Rosa. The television screen that needed to be a little bit dusted, but still has a little bit of a reflection to it. Like, first it's you, and it's just kind of the dark silhouette of you, and then you see traces of white where your hair should be, and then you see it kind of like warping slightly, kind of like the surface of water that has been disturbed, and people moving around, and a very quickly growing face of a wolf or dog or something getting very, very close, and the nose seeming to distort because of the curve of the reflection, and then the reflection itself starts to ripple even more before it just kind of is this strange, weird crack, like glass shattering. And Senor Fluffington melts through the crack, falls onto the living room floor, and when you look back up, the TV is fine. But the Chihuahua just landed on the ground in the living room.
Out of character number 1, that is just straight up the Stargate, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2, in character, I stand up real quick and I basically like bolted like on my hands and knees. I was like, Fluffington, like where were you? Where did you go?
I thought you were gonna be like, one, out of character. That is like Stargate. In character, wow, that's out of Stargate.
In character,
I would not be surprised if Rosa watched Stargate, honestly.
Okay, it is now canon. Rosa's a Stargate.
But yeah, so like
the dogs myself, but the Stargate is like literally on the other side of like the highway from where I am. So
beautiful, wonderful, love it.
That's...
Okay, so yeah, you like dart forward. Senor Fluffington has landed on the floor. Where the fuck were you? Senor Fluffington, you have found Thorn, or what you understand to be Thorn.
Yeah. Yap.
And like, as you're doing that, and Rosa, you're trying to like understand what the fuck just happened and where he went. There's like the slam of a door as like Pedro and Dahlia both hear you yapping, and like both come running into the living room with like Rosa sitting there like practically not quite holding Senor Fluffington, like Senor Fluffington like bouncing around and barking at her. Pedro runs forward and like grabs you before you're able to even kind of escape, and like just is holding you really tightly. Where were you?
I'm yapping at him.
Yeah. What are you saying?
I'm like, oh well, no, I just stepped away for a second to go find Thorn, but then I found that Thorn was already here. If I had waited, I would have been fine, but they're not here. So they are here now, but they weren't back then, and now I am here, and then they're over here.
Rosa, please make an intellect roll for me.
Oh, I can re-roll that. Oh, that was only a 3.
Okay.
It was a 2 the first time.
Okay. I believe, as a reminder,
I do have a nat 20.
A nat 20 if you want. Okay, if you want to use that.
Hell yes.
It's alarming because you have been trying, like, since you got back, and were really frustrated that Vrak / Sev on fairy liquor could understand Senor Fluffington and you couldn't. You've been trying to understand animals, and Senor Fluffington especially, this entire time, because it really rubbed you the wrong way. And it's the moment that you realize that you can understand Senor Fluffington comes after the moment you realize Senor Fluffington doesn't know what your human name is because he keeps calling you Thorn.
There's also a lot of Spanish.
Is it like Dahlia, where it's like it's a little too fast for me to actually like understand as someone who is only vaguely bilingual?
I think it's worse because it's Spanglish, in that every third word is in a different language, and it's just rapid fire switching between the two. And it's like, oh, well, no, the thing is que yo fui afuera y entonces there was like a dude in a cart and then he just corrió y se fue y estaba en el bosque. And it's like just non-fucking stuff.
The internet connection is going nuts, so you're just like spamming, like you're just going fully glitch as you're trying to say things in Spanish, so it makes sense. Head. It's like that's the way that you're trying to understand it, like everything just like the
And so, I just have this moment. I was like, "Sorry, dog. My name is Rosa," and I just have wait.
Yeah, and then also you still can't fully understand him because half of it is in Spanish. But yeah, and then like, as if he can understand Senor Fluffington, but without really registering what the words are, Pedro is like shaming Senor Fluffington for wandering off, and did you really just want to find the vet tech lady that badly? Where did you go? What kind of adventures did you go on? Oh, you're such a naughty dog. Blah, 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 blah. You should take me next time. Like, just back and forth. Pedro does speak Spanish, but most of what he is saying to Senor Fluffington is in English.
And he's saying this to Fluffington, and yes. I'm hearing this.
Yes.
So I'm having this moment of like, wait, what do you mean? You understood Fluffington?
Of course I didn't. He's a dog. I mean, you talk to your dogs, right? Do you not have a dog?
No.
Oh.
I just work with them.
No, they don't. But,
that why you were going to try to steal him?
I wasn't trying to steal him, but what was that about?
Oh, you were trying to steal me?
No, I wasn't.
Is that why you were at the bad place?
No.
Can you understand? I would. What are you saying? You can't understand him. What?
No. She can.
I can. We both like look at each other, and I feel like it's like I say I can, and he just go.
Just a minute, and like shoves Senor Fluffington into your hands. Don't let him go. He's gonna run away again, and then like just rushes off and starts like rapid fire at his mother, who is just like off to the side, like just so happy that Senor Fluffington is back, and like they're like Senor Fluffington, for the most part, you catch like hints of words like TV, trapped, couch, maybe, and then like Pedro telling Dahlia that she should make dinner for the very nice vet tech lady who came over to try and help, and that he'll show Miss Rosa his room and like have her maybe try to see where Senor Fluffington keeps getting out, before he like manages to like push her into the kitchen to get her fully away from the conversation, and like comes back to you guys. What have you been doing in the meantime? Have you just kind of been listening in, or have you been trying to talk to each other?
I am going to translate what I'm hearing in the worst way possible, where what he says in English I'm going to say in Spanish, and what he says in Spanish I'm saying in English.
So I'm only getting half the conversation.
Yeah, you're still getting half of the conversation anyway.
Okay. So he comes back after, again, very rapid fire, just like blah, 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 and then coming back like very, very fast. And Dahlia shouts back after him, "Don't you leave before dinner. You're staying," and then like just goes back to what she was doing. And then Pedro comes back and like grabs you by the arm and then like points and Senor Fluffington, "Come with me, come with me," and then like tries to drag you off to his room.
I feel like at this point I have no choice. I'm just gonna follow. I'm like, well,
Stop
I'm already
talking.
seeing for dinner, so I might as well.
Yeah. He takes you back to his room. It is a typical teenage boy's room. Not exactly the neatest. There are like a couple of band posters, a couple of like TV posters, a calendar up on the wall that hasn't been updated in like 3 months. That type of thing. Unmade bed. You can see the scramble of like laundry and stuff that Senor Fluffington had knocked over in his attempted parkour up to the window.
Successful parkour. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
And on the wall is that same image that you saw of Sev that had been on the boy's phone. And it's a band poster. To which follows, like, he like looks back and then like shoves you into the room, shuts the door. You can understand my dog.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and then like carefully takes Senor Fluffington out of your hands and like whispers in his ear and like whispers, tell her that if she can understand you.
She's saying that if I can, that I need to tell you that if you can understand me,
That I'm thinking of the number 10.
that he is thinking of the number Ben.
He said you're thinking of the number 10.
Oh my god, you can understand me. You can understand my dog. This is so cool. How long have you been able to understand dogs? Why does he keep running away? But this is. How do I understand him? Oh my god. And then he like sits on the bed with Senor Fluffington still like cradled to him and he's just like, this is the coolest thing ever.
Well, okay. So the funny thing is that I literally am only. This is the first time I've ever understood him.
Oh wow. I think my mom has like maybe some beers or something because like that's like when weird things happen to adults they like to like they need to like a drink to get over it, right? Is that something that you do?
Well, I mean, if you're offering,
I do that all the time.
Yeah, Buffington says he does it all the time.
And then he like lifts the dog and looks at him. You drink beer?
I don't know what beer is.
And I'd lean over and say, he doesn't know what beer is.
Okay. Don't drink beer, you're a dog. And then he just like cradles him back again. This is really cool. So you weren't gonna steal him.
No.
I can't.
Okay,
They were at the bad place. They could maybe try to steal me. I don't know.
Okay, so like, so it's kind of cool that you came by. In that case, sorry, it's just you're really bad at lying. And okay, fine. So like, you're staying for dinner. Where did he go?
Buffington, where'd you go?
Hmm?
Where'd you go?
Oh, out through that window. Into I was in a house. Well, I was outside of a house, but not this house, a different house. And then I there was something that sounded like metal, and then I got on it and I started looking for you, but I couldn't find you. And then I ended up in the bad place again, but not your bad place, a different bad place with people that speak monster language. And then I jumped into a trash can, and then I was in a. There were people there, but not bad people. Well, I mean, I don't know if they're bad. They could be bad people, but there were people there. And then I found the house.
Okay, so why were you looking for me?
I don't remember.
So, like, Pedro's just watching you and the dog talk to each other, and, like, there's a bunch of barking and yipping and barking and yipping, and then you're just like, well, then why were you looking for me? And there's more barking and kind of a little bit of a growl, and he's just like, why was he looking for you?
No, he said he forgot why, but that he escaped through the window and then was a lot of other places.
Mom said the window was closed. Maybe she just didn't want me to know that it was my fault this time.
No, no, no. The window was closed. It was not his fault.
No, the window was closed. It wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did he get out?
Yeah, there is the deflection.
I just kind of closed my eyes and so you're gonna have to be like really cool about some things I'm about to tell you right now.
Lady, you can understand my dog like he talks.
Yeah, so have you ever seen the show Stargate?
No, what is it, like an old person show?
You just see kind of Rosa just kind of blink a few times, and I just say, it's not that old. It only came out in like 2001. It's not that old. It's like 2002. It wasn't that old.
And like Pedro hearing this goes, that's older than me.
What, like no, that's not. It's not true. When were you born?
2003.
No, that's fake.
For those of you watching, we have now officially determined that it is the year 2020.
Oh, so funny.
Yeah.
That's not here. That's not here or there.
Fake news. Oh, so good.
I do stop for a second. I'm just like, Fluffington is just an escape artist.
No,
And they don't
I'm a
need,
dog.
and they don't need to have any. They're just really good at getting out of places.
Okay, give
No.
me a deception roll.
16.
16. He looks very skeptical. He goes, okay. I don't see what that has to do with an old show.
Well, this is one of those things where I don't know how to explain this to you without you.
Oh, I can help.
And I look at Fluffington and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, Dilim is like that one time a few years back.
Okay.
Hello. I think.
I turned to Pedro. I was like, Flushington said it's like that one time a few years back, and that you would know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Please make a roll for me, Senor Fluffington.
Me? Okay.
Yeah, for the boy.
I'm gonna use my Cypher to reroll that.
Okay.
Because that was a nat 1.
Whew.
A 14.
Better.
Much better.
And he just kind of looks at you. Mom said that didn't really happen.
Yeah,
Rosa is just is a little confused because she doesn't know the context for this. So,
I mean, like, it couldn't have happened. Like, it couldn't have happened. Like that doesn't happen. How do you even know what could have? That's.
I don't. Fluffington just told me, and what are you referring to? Because I am just as much in the dark as you are. You can trust me. Like, I'm not gonna like judge you or anything.
I had this
Trust
like
me.
really weird dream when I ran away from home this one time. I don't really even remember why I ran away from home. I don't know, it was probably just a dumb kid. Dumb kids run away, right?
Yeah. I mean, every kid runs away at least once.
And so, like, I dreamt that we, like, fell through a magic window and, like, ended up on the beach somewhere. And he was, like, this big, tough werewolf. He was able to, take care of me, and we were able to, actually talk to each other.
Yeah.
Was he? Wouldn't have to be wearing like a blue like bandana around his neck, was he?
Yeah, he was in like the outfit that we like used to wear at like the festivals
Yeah.
back in Puerto Rico. It was
Yeah. They still wear it.
How do you know that?
I haven't been to the beach, but I've crossed over too.
Yeah.
So that was like real. That was real.
Yeah.
It was.
It was maybe around. How old were you when this first happened?
Like 11, I think.
I was around that old the first time I went over. Of course, mine wasn't the beach. I was in a cottage, but
Was I also in 11 when I went over? Are we the same age?
no. I just look at Fluffington and said no.
Oh. How old am I?
So he's able to like keep going back.
Yeah.
And like is that where he goes when he like disappears?
Not always. Sometimes I go around the corner for some corned beef.
He's most of the time, although he said that sometimes he just goes around the corner for some corned beef.
Yeah, the lady over there, she feeds me good.
Yeah. There's a lady over there.
And like he like is in the middle of like this really big revelation, and then he stops, and then he turns Senor Fluffington back to face him. You're not supposed to do that. It makes your stomach upset. No wonder you keep vomiting.
But it tastes good.
No wonder you keep vomiting. And then he like cuddles the dog and starts petting it again.
Okay,
so he's able to go back.
Yeah.
And it was
I don't
real.
know how he knows, but yeah.
So I didn't run away.
No.
And why is he able to go back without me?
I don't know the answer to that.
I mean, it's probably because he eats too much vegetables.
I kind of chuckle and say, Fluffington says you eat too many vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
I like Brussels sprouts.
Gross.
And So he just kind of, okay. What is he?
Oh,
What do you
oh,
guys
tell him we
both do there?
tell him we met the person on the poster.
Oh yeah. And I point at the poster. I was like, you know this person here in the poster?
Yeah, that's Sev.
Yeah, Sev. Sev can also go over there too. Fluffington and I know Sev.
Yeah. Tell him that's who the bracelet is for. The color? That's who from.
That collar or the bracelet, that's who gave it to them.
Oh my god, my dog is so cool. Okay, so okay, so okay. So okay. Oh god, my dog is so cool.
He's
You are so
gonna be like
cool.
this for a little bit.
He's like,
You are so cool. Wow, they're like I've like kind of I want to do that to like my hair, but my mom kind of won't let me. And like, okay, cool. Oh, my friends are never gonna believe me. Okay, so like, isn't sure if he should look at the dog or you. So like the next time, the next time you guys see Seth, just like just be cool about it or whatever. I mean, like totally be cool because I'm totally cool about it too. But could you like get me their autograph? Because like I've only been able to see like 2 of their shows, and like it would be really cool.
Yeah, maybe they can teach you to say "fuck the police" too.
I burst out laughing.
I'm so glad that the kid can't hear. What's it
I just think...
saying? Oh god. What did he say? Oh god, what did he say? Like, cause I'm totally. I swear. Are you laughing at me or are you laughing at him? Because I can be cool. I can totally be cool about it.
Okay, no. You're cool. You're cool. We can definitely get an autograph. But Sev is the one who taught Fluffington how to say and fuck the police.
Okay. That's still also kind of cool. Yeah. So. Okay. All right. So. But when he goes there with you and Sev, he's like safe and he comes back, right? That's why he keeps coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty safe over there. Well, now that the 3 of us are together, they have something watching our back.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Oh, tell him about my big stick.
And at that point, you hear Dahlia starting to call for you guys for dinner.
Hey, kid, listen. Like, all of that happened to you, I can't say for sure why. But I think for now, I think we should just keep this between the 3 of us.
Yeah.
But tell them about the stick, though.
Okay. Can I, maybe, like you work at the vet place, right? Can I, maybe drop by sometimes and,
sure,
ask you about it?
Yeah.
Fair. Tell
and
about my stick.
Fluffington has a big stick that they have over there.
I just read what happened in the comments. You have a dirty mind, librarian. But yeah, so yeah, he really likes sticks. One time he tried to bring home this one branch that kind of fell and was bigger than him, and he bit onto it so hard that he lifted himself up off of the ground and was just kind of like wiggling around while biting it. It was actually really funny, and like I had a video on my phone and then my phone broke. But it was really cool.
No, they're still like that over there.
Yeah. Okay, so
I took it from a witch.
Well, we'll save that for another day. How
No,
about that?
why?
Okay.
He needs to know the
Okay,
cool thing.
so
Well, hey, we
we'll
can't.
have dinner, I
You
guess.
see that I'm arguing back and forth with them.
Yeah.
And then like Dahlia like opens up the door while you're sitting there like arguing with the dog while he's holding the dog up for you.
Oh,
Yeah,
hello, Mama.
yeah, you tell him not to run away again. She's really good with him. And then like he starts rapid fire in Spanish. She's really good with him. Like he listens to her when she got him to sit down. And like he's lying so obviously about all these tricks that you had him do for Pedro that he definitely didn't do. And Senor Fluffington, you know that you did not do any of these commands that he is blatantly lying to Dahlia about.
Why are we lying?
So like you're grumbling about that and it being lies while Rosa, you only catch little things like siete and blah, 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 things like that that are very simple before Dahlia just kind of like come to dinner time. We have dinner. You will wash your hands before you eat. And like, she's like ushering both of you out, and he's still carrying Senor Fluffington all the way to the kitchen where you guys will eat together, and he'll like set the dog down and wash his hands to be able to eat. Senor Fluffington obviously probably begging the entire time for food, especially to Rosa who can understand him.
Yeah, I as soon as like they're like sitting down, I'm gonna walk up and like just look up at Rosa and be like, so now that you can understand me, you don't get the opportunity to ignore me. I want some of that food.
Like,
you don't get to pretend that you don't understand what I'm asking for.
But it is a mostly pleasant dinner. How good is Rosa with spicy food?
Pretty good with spicy food.
Okay, so it is very, very good. It is not like food that you have had before. It's some sort of homemade, like just thrown together dish of some kind that you aren't familiar with. But it is very heavily spiced to cover whatever other flavors of things are thrown together in it. Manages to work very, very well together. The entire time, Senor Fluffington like telling you that you're not allowed to ignore him because you can understand him. But you, as a vet tech, know that if he were to eat this because it is very, very spicy, it would destroy him. Because dogs are not good with spicy.
Yeah.
But it is a pleasant enough evening of dinner. And like Pedro knows his mom enough to where he is able to mitigate her rambling at you when it is time for you to leave, and is keeping a very tight hold on Senor Fluffington so that he does not also escape while you are leaving. Oh, I've got a notice on my restream. Hopefully it is still going through.
I'm seeing an ad break right now.
Same. Enable
like
channels.
5 seconds.
Okay, so it seems like we are still fine. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just have no access to chat on Restream. Awesome. But we are gradually wrapping up anyway. But it is a pleasant enough dinner to which at least Dahlia and Pedro do not give in and give you anything. Senor Fluffington and Pedro will eventually like hook a foot a little closer to try and like nudge you away from Rosa so that you leave her alone. because he can tell that you're trying to say something to her. And then, like, he does manage to keep Senior Fluffington from, like, following you out, and his mom from keeping you too long talking at you. And as the door closes behind you, like Senior Fluffington, he holds you up. Don't run away again. Like, just stay until, like, I will take you to see her in a couple of days. She said that she was off for a couple of days, so I'll take you to see her. Just, like, stay here at least until Mom has to go to work. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I'm gonna take that as agreement. If you're not here in the morning, no more gravy in your food.
It is. The tone of it changes. It was like, I do not promise anything. No gravy in my food. I promise everything.
Yeah. So with that, Rosa, you were able to go home to your what you would assume to be a couple of days off. Senor Fluffington, you are taken back to Pedro's room, where he, like, settles in to read a little bit, even though he should be doing his homework. And Dahlia gets ready for her, like, evening as well. Everyone back where they are supposed to be. Rosa with at least some sort of temporary understanding of the animals around her. And we will see if that continues to the next time. But good job, guys.
We did it.
We did it. That was awesome.
Yes.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah. So you got to see a little bit of what Senator Fluffington's home life is a little bit more like, instead of just very talkative human woman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So excited.
seeing Pedro was like, okay, that it's starting to make sense how Fluffington is able to do it. I still don't know why it's just him, but
I guess we'll find out eventually.
We will find out. That's the mystery.
It's the vegetables, I tell you.
Yeah. Pedro, for whatever reason, really likes Brussels sprouts, and that just is a major no-no for traveling into Fairy Tale Land, according to Senor Fluffington.
Yeah. It's true. He also is not as big a fan as I am with sticks, so probably also has to do with it.
Yeah, that is gonna definitely impede the whole magic of going over there. Totally.
Yeah.
But great job tonight, guys. Thank you so much for...
Yeah.
Ronan needs to know that he hasn't eaten before, and Neil wouldn't give him any of his food at dinner. Very, very rude. Neil, how dare you deprive that poor, poor cat of the food that he so graciously and vividly deserves. But thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm Evie the Disaster Jam with our lovely players here tonight. Let's go ahead and go around and do our closing announcements. We'll go in reverse this time with Joel.
Oh, hi. That's me. I am Joel. I played Senior Fluffington today. To my most chaotic. I am staff here at Alter Deco Archives. Every other Friday, I am this table playing this game, playing this character. And for now, that is all I have to talk about. Yay.
Okay, and Amanda, the birthday girl.
Hi everyone, my name is Amanda, aka Panda Cabra. I have been Rosalind Thorne. All of us use she, her pronouns. Find me on Blue Sky at Panda Cabra if you would like to give me a follow over there. Yeah, I am here every other Friday, and soon will be a member of the new Empyrean series. It's coming out soon.
What?
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I have going on in the new year so far. So yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, we are very excited to be bringing on Amanda to the Empyrean group. We've got, like, it was the little bit of test run that we ran for how the character would fit into the dynamic made things very funny. So it's going to bring in an entirely new element. We might also have another one that is in the works of the whole, like, figuring out who they might want to play and how they would fit in with everyone. But we will make that announcement once things go official so that we don't jump the gun on it. But yeah, so, like, we are all very excited for Empyrean Wilds. I'm getting Empyrean Rising out on audio podcast form so that people can try and more easily catch up story-wise to it. Doing those occasional, like, prep streams where I am working on a map that is much bigger than I ever should have made it, with lots of forests and coming up with fun names with the chat. So you should totally tune in when we do that so that you can help me world build and come up with interesting and sometimes comedic names for territories and towns and things like that. We still need to name a couple more territories, towns, cities, things like that, because there's definitely other towns that have not been named. We need to come up with a name for the ocean or sea. There's a bunch of stuff. And eventually I am going to wrangle some of those players into the prep streams with me so that we can come up with, like, holiday stuff that is relevant to their characters and backstories. But it's fun. We're doing a bunch of prep stuff. There's a lot that goes into creating a world and campaign. But Empyrean Wilds, as was mentioned by both of them, will be coming out early this year. We were recipients of the Monty Cook Cypher System Creator Fund. So with that, we are going to be running Empyrean Wilds both on the new Moonbeam streamed platform as well as Twitch and possibly into YouTube, so that we can, like, have it all in those different places. So if you have Moonbeam access, don't forget to join the Anywhere door, which is the Monty Cook realm. Or just keep following us here on these other channels that you are watching on. It is going to be very fun. Our stream will be starting up once it goes out of the alpha and back into the, like, whole public access thing so that people can actually watch. So dates are still in process. But yeah, it's very fun. Join us on Discord if you want to chat with the crew, the cast, etc. We have an AP hype channel that got a decent number of very fun GIFs and a couple of pictures of my dog barking at me this time around that we definitely enjoy. Went into a lovely discussion on tea recently in the tea and foodstuffs chat. So there's a bunch of places that you can, like, chat with us and do fun things. But the link will, of course, be in chat if you are on Twitch, or description if you are on YouTube. Discord. In addition to all of our links for if you wanted to follow us on socials or support us in any way, Ko-fi, or I don't know if anyone has Patreon. Alina might for Where Geek Comics. I don't know. Alina's not here for us to find that out. But their links are in chats, just like everybody else. So support us, follow us, let us know what you think. Give us suggestions for stuff that you might think would be fun in the game, and maybe I'll take your idea and run with it. We don't know. We'll find out. But until next time, thank you very much for tuning in to Fairy Tale Friday. I am Evie the Disaster GM, pronouns are she, they, or any, director of Altered Echo Archives, and signing off in a couple of minutes. So, bye guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.